hard worker, a brew.
A brew? You making a cup of tea, Kim? Right, welcome back. This episode is going to be a mixture of stuff. So normally I do my videos and they're like fitting a solar panel or fitting DC charger, stuff like that, and I always break it down into little sections. But for this one it's going to be a jumble of everything because CamperJam's coming up back end of this month now. Now we're in June. What day are we on? 8th of June now, and the van's nowhere near ready yet. So the van, basically I've got seats in, which is a bonus. Like fed some wiring through back there, that's all looped up. I did the roof at the back there. I'm not too sure if I like that yet, so I might be whipping that out yet. We don't know. But yesterday I managed to get this step done now. For those of you watching the shorts and stuff on my Instagram, built up this step here. So basically this was a gap underneath here to the housing and that. And you could see, like, you know, the bodywork underneath it. So I've just built this up, put some reinforcement down so it's, you know, it's solid that now, and then just carpeted that then. Try to get best match you can for cab carpet, because it's a black in front. It's like a charcoal's at the back. Probably can't even tell, like, but we'll get that done. But for the start of this one, I think I'm going to be doing, it might be a two-part of this one, because there's going to be quite a lot, because I've not got time to break it down into those little segments. Pick the kitchens up tomorrow as well, which is a bit of a bonus. So I'll hopefully get that done. Then I can start getting the electrics all put into it then, and get it all wired up, and start getting a bit of normality towards it. But today I'm going to be putting in that little bugger. So we're going to fit that on top of here somewhere, and I think I'm going to use some plugs, so we'll get on with that now. So cables pulled through there now. I fit solar panel, just linked up part me now, a little junk at side. That's all be turning it proper. And then up top, I'll show you what I'm up to. Up here. Here is where I've gone in on the roof, and all that was is just one of them little rubber bung plugs. These are notorious for leaking these. As you can see on the other side of the leak on that one, so I've actually sealed them up. They're just spray painted over, but they're not sealed very well. So the panel's gone through this here. This all, what I've got, these scan strut blocks. That scan strut block will go down and has a cap on, just a tidier way of putting it in really, I think. And then what I'll do, I'll sort out the cable management on that one. There was no other access points really I can get into. So we'll get this Sikaflexed up, just have to drill the roof. I'll get it Sikaflexed up and then I'll show you back when I've finished. Right, so that's panel on there. That's all bonded to the roof there. Wires here I've just tied up with some, I've Sikaflexed these things down. Sort of stick right, just a little bit wet them actually. And then this is that junction box, just looks like tidy, doesn't it? You go through. Don't worry about bottle jack, that's just holding that rear bumper there. Routine jobs. Come have a look inside now. What I've done here now, I've just temporarily wired this up to the jackery. Seat wires coming down through back there now. John's little bird nest ready for his stuff. I don't know if you can see it screen there. Let's get a good picture on that. So at the minute now, I've just got the AC switched on, showing 0 input. Now bearing in mind it's like, what, 7:45 now, so there's not much sunshine, but I'm just going to turn this heat gun on, right, get some power used on it, you'll see it. Like I say, it's just drawing in a little bit there, just to compensate for it. So that's panel done anyway. Next stage now, do the kitchen, which picking that up tomorrow, which will probably be in about 10 seconds for you guys. And what I'll do, I'll carry on with that one then. Probably just doing separate videos for it, you see, because like I say, I'm under a bit of a deadline now to get this stuff ready for CamperJam, which is in a few weeks. Stress is not the word. As long as I get the kitchen in, I can get a sink, fridge, hopefully. Should be happy then, you know what I mean? I can do all, tie up, rest of bits up then after that. Awning rail. Oh, nearly forgot about that as well. So I need an awning rail, because I'm not be able to put my awning up otherwise. So that's another little shopping list. My missus is going to divorce me. Just going to get his kitchen. Right, it's 6:30 in the morning now. I'm just on my way up to Derby. Going to a place called Camperworks. Well, VW Camperworks. And they're the ones who supply the units a minute. Lovely little unit, like what they do with gloss. I'm in gloss white, so fingers crossed it fits in the gap I've got between my seat and my door. It's measured up and that, but it's tight, very tight, so it's going to have to be a bit of extra scribing going on that one, but see how it goes. So we'll get on there now, got a brew. Right, it's that front section in. Got seats back in tight fit, lad. Look at that. Right back, loop. We started building up this back section now. I've got to cut half a roof off. Gotta get into it. Line it wardrobe bit up now, show you that back edge. That trim out this corner here, so get into it, and then cut away my headliner along top here. Just to get it all fitted in nice. But I'll tell you what, it's not bad. You could probably go back a bit more on that back edge and take it in more, but the problem I've got is up here. See, if I start coming in too far, I end up taking a lot of this back panel out here to get the unit in, which probably give me a bit of breathing space, but back edge is looking good so far. CamperWorks, massive help. Tell you what, they've been spot on. I ordered the unit straight as a pickup, and basically they've helped me put line fronts up and that, get all that lined up, and then we're just going through back section now, scribing that into it. So definitely can't fault these guys. Just say to my man, rough as out, absolute proper helpful. So not sponsored, really good company. Really, that's me back now anyway. So first build problem we've got. Nothing ever goes according to plan. Now I knew this would happen, that would catch on there, even though it's like that extended piece, but to get the bed down, that's as far as it'll go backwards. If you look here, it has a big bed board. I've took the material off it now, so what I'm going to have to do is trim this section off roughly around there. I'll measure it out proper, because the problem I've got now is, put on my jacket off here. That's a metal frame. Right, so what I'll have to do is cut down here, cut down here. Now ideally I'd say, yeah, easy job, cut that, reverse it, make an L-shaped bracket out of it. Because a lot of the rock and roll beds like that as well, where they actually cut out for the frame on this, but this wasn't designed for what I'm using it for. Problem I've got is I can't get it off because all the frame's bolted around there and also around there, so I'm going to have to cut that and do some jiggery pokery with it in situ, like burning the rest of the van, so that should be fun. I could take the seats out, but then, I mean, they're not screwed in yet, this is just temporarily placed in position. I'll take that end panel back out. I've got to take it out anyway because I've got to do the electrics and that in it. It's basically, I've take the bed out, whip all the sides off it, and then cut it out the van. I'll leave it where it is. I'll cut it where it is. See how we get on with this one. So that's marked off there now on that section. I've just cut a little foam piece off there now, and that's the bit we're going to cut. I was going to do it angle grinder, but I'd have to sheet off all the roofing and all the cupboards and we'd end up with all sorts of shite. And knowing my luck, I'll probably burn bloody camper down. So we're on back saws. We've got a little babby one there and then big one. Put a new blade on for this special occasion. We'll get these chopped up now. Well, I'll give up with them. Pain it ass. So we're on to a big lad now. So bit of overkill. Get these chopped up. Reach is cut. Let's see if it fits. Ooh, that's a tight fit, John. Get that, snug as a bug in a rug. Don't think you could have cut that any better. Pull that round there and dropped it round, and then at the top, got some self-tappers in it. Glue that rubber down. That sponge should be that's new. I would have welded that and actually fill it in so it's lots, you know, more rigid than that, but the way I've done it, I've tapped in either side here, the actual ply line, that is absolutely solid. That can't weld it, van. Bad enough cutting it with a disc, just lazy and I don't use a saw, and it was hard work. But welding that in van, I'd end up nuking some at. I mean, I wouldn't say I was the best welder, but especially not arcing in van, no chance. Right, so we'll get this cover back on now, see how that ties up. Probably have a baggy end on it and that, so I'll have to get some practice on the sewing machine, I think. Try that one out. That'll be another video, that'll be fun. See if the front bit works now. Way. There's Jonesy sorted it. Let's have a look. Come on. Please, please, please. Work, work, work. thank God that went to plan. I had a bit of a nightmare with this seat actually. On the back here, you'll see I've had to raise it up. I had to put the just to clear that bloody arch on it on both sides. So what I have to do now is get some brackets made which will actually come down to here and extend a bit closer so it's a proper fit. But I've also lost the mounting point for my seat belt for the second set. I've got one there that side. So what I'll have to do is drill and tap further over and just stick that in. Slowly but surely, deadline's looming, seat's done. Need to test the cover as well, see how that sits on it, and then we'll get on with these electrics in there. Not being funny, but trying to get a zip threaded back through is not the easiest thing to do. Right, so I finally got that back on there, that cover on. That corner I've just pushed over there until I can get some skills with sewing machine, and then I'll take that down. That's one part done. I think I've got a DeWalt issue. Right, so I'll just move this bit out of here now so I can get to electric bits. Fucking hell, that's tight. Oh. Gives me access into electrics and that. So I'll do, I'll whip this shelf out. That's where my battery's gonna go. I've got a feeling that I'm gonna have to widen that a bit because I don't think the battery's gonna fit. Victron will go in here, the DC charger into there with the battery, and then the solar stuff I'm going to put on this end panel around here. And then what I'll do is on here, because the way I've done the van, because it's followed the contours of it here, these units are designed for having like a ply line on top here, so that's a sealed bit there. But for me it's probably better because I like access to the back here because the switching panels down that side on there. So what I'll do is I'll fit the electrics in here, and then I'll create another panel, probably roughly about here, and then cover that section up and then take it back, you know, deep into this recess. So that should work out straight at. The rest of the wardrobe then fits around this section here. So I think we'll crack on with electrics now, get these wazzed in. I might shove an L bracket on that first because these are not fastened in proper yet. Front edge has been done, at the bottom that's been screwed in. I've got a piece of it do around the back here, and then I'll probably L bracket that there. So we'll get them done and then I'll get electrics on. We're going, lad, we're getting there. Come on. No one else just see when you're doing the job in a van and just ordering shite off Amazon. Must have had about 3 orders today, just on little bits I need. Tell you what, we've been lost with Amazon, massively lost with it. Does anyone else have a bucket full of random screws? There must be a screw for everything in here, but the ones what you need you can't find. Always the case. Found one of these online as well. Little locating points. Sorry about the shine. It shows you where you can best places, you know, to fix stuff on the vans. Obviously this is for my van onwards. So we know slider, we've got a mounting point right there, which is roughly where that is. Get it banged in.
Yeah, I'll make the hard worker a brew.
A brew? You making a cup of tea, Kim? That was staged, you just had to bribe it to make a brew then. Tighter than cramp, honestly. You know, you just drill that into there then your lights went off. That was like either good time in that or I've dusted a cable. Thank God for that. Honestly, this van build's testing my patience. So for grounding on here, see I'm going to use, when I find it, wherever I put it. So I'll be using this Victron DC to DC charger. It's a non-isolated version, this one. So what it means that one is it's isolated from the well, the ground side or negative side, it's isolated from the battery, and use the vehicle chassis ground. So you'll have your positive coming in from your vehicle battery, you'll have a ground, so it goes to ground, and then this goes then to the positive of the leisure battery. So what I need to do now is find a grounding point. Now on a tranny you actually have at the back of the doors here, see a little 12-volt socket there, just above that you've got 2 grounding points here. So I'm just basically going to tap into that with a big piece of chunky cable like that, bit of heat shrink on it and a connector. I'll crimp that on there now, stick that on, that's my grounding point. So that cable then will run to the back here into the Victron unit. So all I'll do is slide a bit of heat shrink on here. It's not an how-to video, it's just how I do it. So I'll follow it with a pinch of salt. I mean, that was a bitch for a move. I think I need next size up on that one. Using jack over there, but AC, these things are absolutely brilliant, I tell you. And then I've just got my little heat gun plugged into that, and we'll wind this up, and we're done. Honestly, these things, right, they're worth the weight in gold, them. So yeah, I got that at a good price, to be fair, like, but that's $1,000, that one. And what I'm going to do with that is, rather than an inverter in the van, do all the wiring for that and the cost of it, I'm going to use the jackery, so the jackery will go inside the wardrobe bit here. It's going to be access so I can take it out. When I want to run a coffee machine or any 240 stuff in the van, I'll wire a plug to plug. So basically one end up plugging here, on here, and then one end up plugging the like a CB socket, which I'm going to put in the back of the unit. So basically, and then when you want to run something, just turn the AC on the actual jackery, and then jobs are good, and you've got 240. So see how it works out. In theory it should work, but we'll see how we get on. But it saves me pissing about then trying to get an inverter and everything like that, because it's 240 stuff running to a coffee machine, and I've tested that out and it worked. So that's grinding wire put in there now. Just run all the back of here, fit it to that board, and then attach it to this little block here. This will be my negative bus bar, whatever they call them. Right, so we're going to test this jackery plug now. So this is the wire I've made up now, which runs through to the back socket. Just turn ACC on, or AC, should I say. Then we'll go right back, up front. There's the socket, it's in. What I'll do, I'll just test it with me. So I'll just plug this in, see if it blows up, see if it works. 240. There we have it. 240, run off the jackery. Main kitchen bit. No inverter needed. Crack on now, wiring this switching panel in now. Well, picked up a new thing yesterday, or last night. Thanks to some Dubs Outlaws members who were selling something. Da 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 da. CRX Dometic fridge. Get in. So I'll be running that little bad boy there. So I'm going to crack on with wiring that in today. I think that's pretty much the last big purchase really, apart from wait for the sink and battery to turn up. They should rock up on Monday, so that's not too bad. Give me a bit of breathing space. I'm back at work on Monday, see, so it's going to be a weekend after now and I get onto that. I'm still carrying on with that bird's nest over there. Tell you what, right, that's probably the hardest part. The electric's that faffing about running them little bloody wires everywhere. Should have put a bus bar at the back of that so it's easy to connect, because now I'm having to run back to the fuse board, and to be honest with you, I don't think I needed that fuse board really with that. So I don't know yet, I'll probably use it for something else, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get cracking on with this fridge. See on these units, you've actually recessed the locating holes, you know, for the feet. So I'm hoping they fit in it. So we'll get this squeezed in now, see if it goes on. Not funny, but that fits like a glove. This is the joys now of having a twin slider. Pop around and go and wire the back end out. So that actually sits in them feet just nice. We'll get this wired up now, and that's one job and knocked off the list. Getting close to camper.